Hey everyone at Strong and Senior. I'm your doctor, and today I want to talk about something super important that could protect you even while you're sleeping. Imagine you're fine, sleeping peacefully, and suddenly you can't lift your arm, your words get jumbled, or you lose your balance. That's a stroke, and I've seen too many older folks go through this. What's surprising is it's not always about smoking, bad food, or not exercising. Sometimes, it's about something you thought was good for you, vitamins. Yes, vitamins. Millions of seniors take supplements daily, hoping to help their bones, boost energy, or keep their memory sharp. While many do help, some, especially in big doses or taken at the wrong time, can quietly put your brain in danger. Today, I'll tell you about 5 common vitamins that might raise your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or high blood pressure, especially in the early morning when your brain is most at risk. If you've ever taken vitamin D, E, B6, A, or niacin, this information could save your life. Have you ever wondered if your vitamins could be hurting you? Type 1 in the comments if you're curious to know more, and 0 if this is new to you. And if brain health matters to you or someone you love, please like this video and subscribe to Strong and Senior for honest health tips for older adults. Vitamin D, too much of a good thing? Let's start with the most shocking one, vitamin D. You might not know it, but too much of it could make your good night's sleep dangerous. We all know it's good for bones, mood, and immunity. But here's what many seniors aren't told. Too much vitamin D, especially at night, can quietly increase your stroke risk. I've seen it with my patients. Take Mr. Walter, 74, a retired Navy man. He was fit and careful about his health. Every morning, he'd take his supplements, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D pill he bought without a prescription. He thought he was helping his bones, but this routine was slowly leading him to a silent disaster. One morning, his wife found him confused, unable to speak clearly, his right arm limp. He'd had a stroke overnight. His tests showed dangerously high calcium levels, stiff arteries, and wild blood pressure. The cause? Too much vitamin D. When you take a lot of vitamin D without a doctor's advice, it makes too much calcium build up in your blood. Your body doesn't know what to do with it, so it sends it to your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. And that can lead to a blood clot straight to your brain. As we age, our arteries naturally get less flexible. Add dehydration, poor sleep, and a calcium spike at night, and you've got a perfect recipe for a stroke. The scariest part, no warnings. You feel fine when you go to bed and wake up with your life changed forever. Also, many vitamin D supplements sold in stores have way more than seniors actually need. People take 5,000 IU, even 10,000 IU daily, thinking more is better. But studies show that even 2,000 IU daily might be too much if you're not actually low on vitamin D. So, if you take vitamin D, especially with calcium or heart meds, it's super important to get your blood levels checked often. And always take it in the morning, not before bed. Do you know how much IU is in your supplement? Type D in the comments if you take vitamin D. Vitamin E. Good for your heart, risky for your brain? If that surprised you, wait for the next one. This vitamin is often taken for heart health, but for older adults, it can cause something even worse than a clot, a brain bleed. Let's talk about vitamin E, often called the heart helper. Many seniors take it for heart health, circulation, memory, or skin. But here's the hidden truth. Too much vitamin E, especially with common heart medications, can raise your risk of bleeding in the brain. Yes, even if you're doing everything else right. I'll never forget Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, 81. She was smart and loved books. She had a heart valve problem and was on warfarin, a blood thinner. Her doctors watched her closely. But one day, she saw an ad for natural vitamin E, 800 IU per pill. I thought it would help my memory and blood flow, she told me. 3 weeks later, she was in the emergency room with a bad headache, confusion, and vomiting. A brain scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside her brain. Not from high blood pressure or a fall, but because the mix of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E made her blood too thin to clot. A tiny blood vessel in her brain simply burst. What most people don't know is that high doses of vitamin E act like a natural blood thinner. It slows down clotting. So, if you're already on aspirin, Plavix, or any other blood thinner, adding vitamin E quietly increases your risk of internal bleeding, especially in your brain, where even a small bleed can take away your ability to speak, remember, or walk. And get this, the daily dose recommended for older adults is only about 15 milligrams, around 22 IU. Yet, most supplements in stores have 200, 400, or even 1,000 IU per pill. No warnings, no doctor's talk, and many people take them daily for years. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but she now uses a cane, and her short-term memory isn't the same. She cried and told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was hurting myself." This breaks my heart because she's not alone. Many seniors think vitamins are always safe, but that's not true, especially if you're on heart or blood pressure medicines. Always talk to your doctor before adding anything new. Vitamin B6, nerve support or nerve damage. If a brain bleed wasn't scary enough, there's another vitamin people take for nerves and energy that can quietly damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let's talk about vitamin B6, often sold as a nerve support or brain booster. You might have seen it promising energy, focus, or memory help. Someone might even have told you it's good for aging nerves. But here's what most seniors aren't warned about. Too much vitamin B6 can actually damage your nerves, sometimes for good. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins, 76, a retired truck driver. He came to me because his feet felt numb, his hands tingled, and he was losing his balance. At first, he thought it was just old age. Then he started falling. The third time, he hit his head in the bathroom. When I checked his supplements, I saw the problem right away. He'd been taking a nerve support pill for over a year. The label said, supports brain health and circulation, but each pill had 100 milligrams of vitamin B6. He was taking 2 a day, 200 milligrams daily, over 10 times the safe limit for seniors. Here's the scary part. Unlike some vitamins that leave your body quickly, B6 builds up over time. And in older adults, it can harm the protective cover around your nerves, like stripping the coating off a wire. This leads to tingling, numbness, weak muscles, shaking, and even confusion or memory problems. What's worse, the symptoms come on slowly. Many people think it's arthritis, aging, or early dementia, but it could be B6 poisoning, a slow, preventable nerve damage caused by a pill meant to help. And it can be permanent if not caught early. Mr. Jenkins was lucky. We stopped the supplement and the damage didn't get worse, but he still uses a cane and no longer drives. He told me, I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it. Vitamin B6 is important, but only in very small amounts. Seniors need about 2 to 10 milligrams daily, including what you get from food. But many brain support pills sold online or in stores have 50, 100, even 200 milligrams. That's not just unnecessary, it's dangerous. So, if you're taking any supplement for nerves, brain, or energy, check the label. Know your numbers, and type B6 in the comments if you've taken such a supplement or know someone who has. Vitamin A, good for eyes, bad for brain pressure? You might think eyesight vitamins are safe. Well, not exactly. Let's talk about vitamin A. You've probably heard it's key for good vision, or maybe you take it for immunity, skin, or to age gracefully. But almost no one tells you, especially if you're over 60. Too much vitamin A doesn't just sit there. It builds up, and over time, it can increase pressure inside your skull, acting like a stroke, hurting your vision, and even affecting your brain. Let me tell you about Miss Dorothy Simmons, 79, a retired piano teacher. She loved music and stayed independent. But one day, she started getting headaches, then blurry vision, dizziness, and slurred speech. Her family feared a stroke, but her scan showed something surprising. No clot, no bleeding. Instead, she had high intracranial pressure, too much pressure inside her brain. Her spinal fluid was backed up and tiny veins in her brain were stressed. The cause? Vitamin A toxicity. She had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement for over 5 years, nearly 10,000 IU daily, without knowing the risk. Here's why. Vitamin A is fat-soluble. This means your body stores it in your liver, tissues, and even your brain. It doesn't get washed out like vitamin C or B. And as we age, our liver works slower. So this buildup happens even faster. When there's too much vitamin A, it can lead to pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor. Symptoms include headaches, blurry or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and even permanent vision loss or thinking problems. The tricky part, many multivitamins already have the full recommended amount of vitamin A. But people like Ms. unknowingly double or triple that by adding other skin, eye, or anti-aging pills. The safe upper limit for seniors is around 2,500 to 3,000 IU daily, and that's only if a doctor says it's needed. But many online supplements have 5,000 to 10,000 IU or more. Taking these daily for months or years easily causes damage. Ms. is slowly getting better, but she now needs regular eye exams, pressure checks, and balance therapy. She told me, I thought I was doing something good for my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain. That's why I share her story. Not to scare, but to give you the facts to protect yourself and your independence. Niacin, vitamin B3 heart aid, or blood pressure danger. If you thought eyesight vitamins were risky, wait until you hear what happens when a vitamin meant for cholesterol and heart health suddenly makes your blood pressure spike. Let's talk about niacin, vitamin B3. It's often praised as a natural way to lower cholesterol, and some doctors even prescribe it. You'll also find it in heart health pills, energy drinks, and fortified cereals. But here's what's often missed, especially for older adults. High doses of niacin can quietly cause big ups and downs in your blood pressure and even trigger a stroke. Meet Mr. Frank Miller, 82, a retired postman. He came to me with strange symptoms, hot flashes in his face, a pounding chest, and dizziness that came and went every morning. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure meds. But the real cause was something no one had checked. Dennis had been taking an over-the-counter heart-healthy supplement. The front said, supports cholesterol and circulation. The back, 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day, 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times the amount most seniors actually need. When you take high doses of niacin, your blood vessels suddenly expand, which is why your face might flush. But soon after, those same vessels snap back and tighten. This sudden tightening can raise your blood pressure, strain your heart, and reduce blood flow to your brain. Over time, this back-and-forth effect is like hitting fragile glass with a hammer. Eventually, something breaks. Dennis had a transient ischemic attack, TIA, or a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for 2 minutes, then returned. He thought it was a fluke. I had to tell him the tough truth. His daily supplement, meant to help his heart, was silently harming his brain. And he's not alone. Many seniors take high-dose niacin without even realizing it. They buy flush-free or extended-release versions online, thinking they're safer. But even these can still raise blood pressure, cause irregular heartbeats, and affect blood sugar. What you need to know, for older adults, anything over 50 milligrams of niacin daily should only be used under a doctor's care. And if you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or are on medication, please check your labels. Dennis is now off niacin. He's recovering with no lasting damage. But he told me something I won't forget. Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain. Real food, your brain's best friend. Now that we've talked about 5 common vitamins that can quietly harm your brain, you might be asking, what should I take instead? Or even better, what should I eat? Let's talk about real food, the kind that protects your brain without the risks. Your body wasn't made to run on pills. It was made to thrive on real, whole, natural, nutrient-rich food that your brain understands, absorbs, and uses just right. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Wilson, 73, a retired school principal. When I first met her, she had a drawer full of supplements. Vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for heart, B-complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and more for brain support. I'm doing everything right, Doc, she said. But she was dizzy in the mornings, her balance was off, and her blood pressure kept climbing. Something was wrong. So we did something big. We cleared out the pills. One by one, we replaced them with food. No magic diet, just simple, whole foods at the right time in the right ways. Her breakfast looked like this: 1 boiled egg for protein, half an avocado for healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast for steady energy, a handful of blueberries for brain-protecting stuff, and a glass of room temp water for hydration. Sometimes she added walnuts or almonds. That's it. No powders, no pills, just food. Real, familiar, nourishing. In just a few weeks, Maggie felt a big difference. Her dizziness disappeared, her blood pressure became stable, her energy came back, and she told me her mind felt clearer than it had in years. Here's why it worked. Your brain needs water, healthy fats, steady fuel, and tiny nutrients in their natural form. It doesn't need huge doses, it needs balance. Some of the best foods for older adults include leafy greens like spinach and kale, good for your brain and body. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, full of brain-protecting omega-3s. Berries help reduce swelling in the body. Nuts and seeds have vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. Whole grains keep blood sugar steady and help blood flow. And remember, these foods don't just protect your brain. They also help your heart, bones, mood, and movement. You're not just eating, you're healing with every bite. A final thought: knowledge is your power. At this age, every choice matters more. The truth is, it's not the pills you take, but what you know about them that truly protects you. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't handle supplements the same way it did years ago. Even good habits, like taking vitamins, can quietly cause problems if you're not careful. That's why being aware is your strongest medicine. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you do need to respect them. Read the labels, ask your doctor, and listen to your body, especially when it whispers. If anything in this video resonated with you, tell me in the comments. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? If you found this helpful, please like it to help others find it too, and subscribe to Strong and Senior so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. You're not alone on this journey, and you're never too old to take charge of your health.